What's up? My name is Darryl Williams and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate 101. All right, guys, today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Rather than going over just one real estate scenario, today we're gonna decode real estate terminology or real estate jargon, whatever you wanna call it, in this video. So I'm gonna throw a lot of different terminologies at you and kind of explain what they mean. I hope you did a lot from this video, but before we jump into that, please take a moment to smash that like button for the algorithm and share this video. It would mean a lot to me. All right, so guys, today, decoding real estate terminologies. And the first one that we're going to decode today is mortgage recording tax. If you remember from my previous video on purchase SEMA, I mentioned mortgage recording tax in that video. That video was packed with a lot of information, so if you haven't seen it, you should go back and check it out. All right, so mortgage recording tax. The New York City mortgage recording tax is 1.8% for loans below $500,000 and 1.925% for loans of $500,000 or more. The mortgage recording tax is the largest buyer closing cost in New York City. How much mortgage recording tax you pay is based on the size of your loan as opposed to the purchase price. The mortgage recording tax, however, does not apply to co-op apartments. Next, New York City mansion tax. Ooh. No one likes this tax because this tax applies to when you're paying for 1 million or above. But let's get into the technical definition. The New York City mansion tax is a buyer closing cost, which ranges from 1% to 3.9% of the purchase price applicable to purchases of $1 million or more in New York City. The mansion tax is part of the real estate transfer tax imposed by New York State on sales or transfers of real estate. All right, so next, New York City and New York State transfer taxes. So transfer taxes are paid by sellers unless it's a new development and you're the sponsor. The New York City real property transfer tax is 1% of the price if the value is $500,000 or less, or 1.425% if it's more. Listing agent, seller's agent. A listing agent is a real estate professional who represents the seller in a real estate transaction. As the name suggests, the listing agent lists the home for sale and works on the seller's behalf to sell the home at a price and under terms that are best for their client. Buyer's agent. A buyer's agent represents only the buyer in a real estate deal. When you buy a home, your buyer's agent focuses his or her energy on making sure your needs are met. His or her fiduciary obligations are solely to you as the buyer and to make sure you get the best possible deal. Sponsor developer. Now, this is a term that's used interchangeably in New York City real estate. A sponsor and developer are essentially the same. Specifically, real estate developers buy property or partner with landowners, then develop a plan for what to build or rebuild on that property. They bring in investors and predict how much money the new homes or businesses will bring in. Developers then manage the construction and ultimately sell the project. They will hire a real estate broker to represent them and sell out a project in New York City. So when you're on Street Easy and you're scrolling and you see something that says sponsor unit, it's usually implicating that this is a developer of a building who is selling said building that they built, if that makes sense. I feel like I said built way too many times in that sentence, but that is what a sponsor and developer are. Appraiser. A real estate appraiser assesses the market value of properties such as homes or commercial real estate. Their work forms the basis of valuing, selling, and buying property fairly and lawfully. If you want to make a purchase loan on property, you legally need to access the services of a real estate appraiser to determine its market value. This way, the lender knows that your requested amount is close to an accurate appraisal of how much you need. All right, guys, so that's the end of our videos. I threw a lot of real estate terms at you. If you're getting ready to take the real estate exam, a lot of this probably won't be on there. But now that you have your license, you're in the real world, you kind of have an idea of what all of this entails, so that you're well prepared to, if you're a buyer's agent, to work with your buyer and guide them throughout the process, because the buyers really don't know what their closing cost is when it comes to buying a property. You got to tell them about the mortgage recording tax. If they're going to be spending over $1 million, you have to let them know they got to pay that and the mansion tax, and you need an appraiser, etc. So these are a lot of information that is good for you as an agent to know. And if you're a buyer watching this or interested in buying, it's good to know this so you're well prepared when you go out there to search for a property to buy for the first time in New York City. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.